Deirdre Messerly.
I'm going to start with a lie. You don't have any conflict. Everything's fine. You're professional. You avoid drama. You handle things maturely. That's the lie to yourself. You smile instead of saying what's really bothering you. You let things slide that shouldn't. You wait. And wait. And wait. And then one day, it explodes. And then you call that a difficult person. No, that is a delayed conversation. In my daily work with my clients, I see so many of these delayed conversations leading to disaster. Let me tell you about my client, Brian. Brian is business owner of a successful marketing agency, but he wants to step back from day-to-day running of the business. He appoints his best employee, Stephen, as co-managing director. Both are happy, business is running smoothly. But every now and then, Brian gets a strange feeling. Stephen works differently. Things aren't going the way Brian wants them to. And Stephen should know by now. Have you ever felt that something wasn't right and yet didn't say anything? Yes. That's exactly the moment where conflict begins. Brian tells me about his meeting with Stephen a few weeks ago. All of a sudden, it just burst out of him. Enough is enough. I can't stand this anymore. You don't get anything right. Whew. Has anything like that ever happened to you too? Yeah. This is what happens if we don't acknowledge conflict. Of course, Stephen was shocked. First of all, because of Brian's tone. That wasn't appropriate at all and very, very stressful. But even more, because Brian wasn't pleased with his work. He never said something. He seemed to be happy how work is evolving. But don't forget, most people can't read your mind. As you can imagine, the atmosphere between the two was terrible from that day on. Every conversation they had ended in a nightmare. After several months, Stephen handed in a sick note. Brian was left alone with the consequences. No pulling back out of day-to-day business. He lost his best employee and future managing director, and the atmosphere in the team was just terrible. Of course they noticed the conflict. And now that Stephen has fallen sick, they believe it was Brian's fault. All of this just because he delayed an important conversation. I'm again and again amazed and shocked at the following study. This study showed that 57% of people on sick leave for psychological reasons is caused by conflict at the workplace. Think about this for a second. 57% of sick leave for an average of 7 months is due to conflicts that aren't solved. Another study showed that leaders spend 30 to 50% of their working time solving conflicts and the consequences, time they could invest in projects, clients, and strategy. In a company with 1,000 employees, this leads to costs between 4 and 10 million euro per year. Now you might ask, why don't we hold these conversations? There are two main reasons. First, our values and beliefs, which cause us to be biased a lot more than we imagine. I could talk about biases, the reasons and effects for hours, but that's a separate talk. The other reason why we avoid these conversations and where I want to focus on today is fear and wanting to preserve harmony. I see this in my seminars helping leaders holding conversations with their employees where they have to mention a critique. At the beginning of the seminar, I ask my participants, what makes these kind of conversations difficult? The most mentioned answer is emotions. They're afraid of the emotions that could occur, the emotional toll the conversation may take, like overreaction, anger, or hurting someone, and then not knowing how to cope with these emotions. However, many of them are even more concerned about their own emotions. What happens if I lose my temper, if I can't control myself? What will they think of me? I am not that kind of boss who yells at everyone. In short, we often avoid challenging discussions because we're unsure how the conversation will unfold. We might have peace for a short period of time, but we underestimate the long-term effect. In many teams I coach, the underlying issue often is a conversation that was avoided. Like Mahatma Gandhi said, peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to cope with it. Brian asked me, what should I say? What's the perfect rhetorical structure? Well, I had to give him the typical consultant answer. It depends. What do I mean with that? Brian told me everything that annoys him about the way Stephen works. Stephen is incredibly complicated. He controls everything 5 times. He can't take any clear decisions. Everything just takes for ages. Time is money. And so on and on and on. After he finished, I asked him, and what would you prefer instead? A long silence. He can't really put it in words. He can't really grasp it. And this is what I notice with most of my clients in similar situations. We as human beings, we are really well in knowing what we don't want anymore. But we are rather bad in knowing what we want instead. Solving a conflict doesn't start with the perfect technique. It starts with inner clarity. It's like the navigation system in your car or nowadays on your phone. If you don't enter a destination, well, it doesn't know where to take you. The best car, the best technique doesn't help if you don't know where you want to go. Only if you enter a clear destination, then the GPS can find the best way to take you there. The inner clarity is the destination for our conversations. The next time something bothers you about another person, ask yourself the following questions. What would I want instead? Sounds really easy, but it's often quite difficult to answer really sincerely. Second, why is that important to me? What is the deeper meaning for me? Third, where have I might been wrong? Every conflict has at least 2 sides. And fourth, what would happen if the situation would just stay the way it is? Answering these 4 questions will help you to find your inner clarity. And then, knowing what and how to say, all of a sudden, is easy. Now, you know the truth. You do have conflict too. Not everything is fine. You didn't avoid conflict, you just delayed it. But now you know how to cope with it. My biggest hope for when you walk out that door is that you are the person who discovers their inner clarity, masters up their courage, and solves the situation with ease. So please, stop delaying important conversations. Avoid this trap before it's too late. Thank you.